So it's Danny Flexon here for Seconds Out. Delighted to be joined by my good friend and former English light heavyweight champion, Ricky Digger Summers. How you doing, mate?
Yes, Danny, I'm good, thank you. Yourself, mate?
Very good, thanks. You retired earlier this year as a champion, which very few get to do. How's
Yeah.
life since hanging up the gloves?
It's been good. I mean, look, I don't miss the boxing one bit, to be honest. My life's too busy. I miss the thing I do miss about it is like obviously my gym friends and stuff, but barring that, yeah, I think I've retired at the right time. I'm looking at having surgery on the injury that I had that caused me to retire. So yeah, get that fixed, get out of pain, and yeah, get cracking on with life.
Ah, great stuff. And we saw a couple of light heavyweight contests on the show on Saturday night in Riyadh. Did you get a chance to watch it?
Yeah, I watched it live. Like you say, I'm still a big boxing fan, even though I'm retired now. I love the boxing. I love to be there watching it as a fan.
Well, let's start with the main event. Dmitry Bivol against Artur Beterbiev. Incredible fight, very good to watch. Not a war as such, but technical
Yeah.
boxing match with a few explosive moments as well. What did you make of the fight and of the decision as well?
Great fight. I think watching it live, I had Bivol up by a round or two. But when I watched it back, you know, you couldn't have argued with a draw, or you couldn't have argued if Beteviev, if they pronounce his name, got the decision. But what a fight, and for a boxing purist, um, the mind had to be switched on. I bet the both felt so tired after the fight because you could see how switched on the both was. And yeah, brilliant fight.
And as you said, you had Bivol live at the time. What was it you appreciated more about Beterbiev's performance when you watched it back?
In pro boxing, they like aggression, don't they? And like his aggression, like he's never took a backward step. And yeah, just his aggression that won the fight for me. He always had Bivol on the back foot. He always had a bit of a moving. And I think for me, the fight was so close, but I think he just won them championship rounds 10, 11, 12. I think he just stepped it up a little gear and won them.
Do you think we'll see a rematch?
Hopefully, I mean, and the two best in the world, didn't they? So, you know, for me, I don't really see where Beterbiev goes from there unless he moves up a weight. If he moves up to cruiserweight, then obviously try and conquer that division. But I think he deserves a rematch. The fight was so close and you couldn't really split him. So yeah, I'd love to see a rematch.
Another light heavyweight contest on the undercard saw Ben Whittaker, who you've sparred in the past. I think we talked about it in a previous interview,
Yeah.
taking his biggest test as a pro so far against Liam Cameron. Um, the ending's drawn a lot of conversation and controversy. How surprised were you by the way it ended in that fifth round?
I was told, like everyone, I was shocked. I couldn't believe it. Um, yeah, it's just unreal the way that I've never seen that in all my life of boxing. In all the years of boxing I've been boxing, I've never seen anything end like that before. It was um, it was bizarre. I mean, for me, watching the fight before the fight, I was saying like to everyone, people was asking my opinion on the fight. I says this will be his toughest test. I says, and if he's the real deal, he should pass through with flying colours. I says, but this is his. No disrespect to the previous opponents he's boxed, but they've been gimmies if that's the right word. But I did say this would be his proper first test. But for me, watching the fight, he come out sharp. He didn't look himself after 2 or 3 rounds. He just looked flat and gassed. And like you say, just a bizarre ending. What made it bizarre for me because obviously as he went down, we don't know the injuries to his foot, isn't it? But I couldn't believe on such a big stage like that, he didn't even try and get up and weight bear. You know what I mean? Just to see if he could. But he must have been in pain to obviously not be able to get up and get took out the ring on a stretcher, well, on a wheelchair. So yeah, sad really.
Who did you have ahead in the fight before that ended?
I had I had it close. Like I had Ben obviously winning the first. round he's like comfortable. And the second round, Cameron started coming to the fight. Third round, it was close. Obviously, Cameron was getting to him. You see, he just looked, for me, Ben didn't look himself, when he's normally flashy and, messing around and stuff. He just stayed look himself, whether it was that the occasion or, the heat out there. He looked like he was struggling a bit to me with the pace and the timing of Liam Cameron. Because Liam Cameron, he's a solid pro. He got brilliant timing, and he just looked like he was getting to him a bit. You know what I mean? But yeah, I'd like to see him do it again anyway, Danny. It's unfinished business, that is, and I think that's a fight that should happen. For Ben and for the public, the fans would like to see that as well again.
And his promoter boxer have issued a statement today on Sky Sports saying that he exacerbated an existing injury to his neck, but also had an ankle sprain, and that's why he
Yeah,
was unable to continue. He's now rehabbing the injury and recovering. There's been a lot of critics out there suggesting that with the fight going against him or momentum swinging away from him, perhaps he didn't continue when he could have.
yeah.
What do you make of that criticism, and how do you deal with that as a fighter if it is all legit and it's unfair criticism?
It's hard. It's hard. I think he's obviously injured, but on that platform, that stage, like I said, I'd have tried. Being me personally, I'd have tried to white bear. I mean, I'd seen none of that. And yeah, the criticism, I went online, not that good on social media much, but there was a lot of criticism. And like, Ben seems a character though, that he don't really take it to heart. So like, I think he can come back from that. But I think he needs to right his wrongs right. Um, he just didn't. He was trying to stand and fight with Cameron and stuff. I mean, top of level Olympic silver medalist, amateur, but like anybody will tell you, Danny, amateur and professional boxing is completely different.
Hmm.
9 times out of 10, if you're a good amateur, you're going to be a good pro, but some don't make it, and it's sad to say, but some don't make it as a good pro, some do. But yeah, I hope he can come back from it. I hope he bounces back and comes back stronger.
And we talked about Beterbiev against Bivol as you said, two best fighters in the division. In this country, we've got Joshua Buatsi, who beat Willie Hutchinson not too long ago for the WBO interim belt. So he's the only one, I guess, with another major belt in the weight class at the moment. I'm not sure if Benavidez has still got the interim belt he had at light heavy. But how far away do you see Buatsi now from the level we saw on Saturday night with Bivol and Beterbiev?
Not too far. Obviously, those two guys there for me personally, I think them a level above everyone else in the division. You know what I mean? Them two, I'm up there. Like Buatsi, he's a good operator, a good fighter, and but like I just think they're a level above.
Yeah. Yeah, it's a tough one, but
Yeah.
there doesn't seem to be anyone else now that Buatsi necessarily can fight to get him to that level. I think it looks like
Yeah.
quite a big jump from where he is now.
It is, and we all want to see him fight Yard, don't we? I'd
Yeah.
love to see that fight. Hopefully, seeing that Yard boxing this weekend on the Sky Sports show. I don't think the fight would be too hard to make now. You know what I mean? And it'd be good to see who's the best in Britain, because I do believe it's out of them two. What's in Yard, who's number one in Britain. And it'd be good to see who is number one, because you're always second guessing. But it'd be good. It'd be good to see them
What
two
have you
get it
made
on.
of the whole situation with Yard? Obviously, he's been out of action for quite some time. There was a promotional dispute with Queensbury that now seems to have been resolved one way or the other, and he's back out on a boxer show. Is it disappointing that he's lost, that chunk of time?
It is, for me, for myself, I was very inactive as a pro, and it does, it makes a massive difference to your performances in that ring. People say they don't have ring rust, and people say they have ring rust, but I think everyone gets ring rust. Obviously, when you're not competing, and that's why he's having his comeback fight, because he's world level, isn't he, Anthony Yarde? So hopefully he has this, and I'd love to see. I think that's the fight out there to see next is him and Buatsi, and see who's number one in Britain, and then push on to world level. World titles.
Now that may show us who's the number one in Britain, but the actual British title, the Lonsdale Belt, is going to be disputed this Friday night. Sorry, no, this Saturday night. I got that wrong. At the Copper Box, Lewie Edmondson against Dan Azeez. Obviously, Azeez has held the belt as well as Commonwealth and European
Yeah,
before. But it's kind of a crossroads fight in that Azeez, since the loss to Buatsi, has had a kind of surprising result on his part. Edmondson's unbeaten, hungry.
yeah.
How do you kind of size that one up?
It's a funny one. When the fight first got announced, I didn't know it was for the British. Is it for the British then?
Yeah, the
Is it,
vacant
Danny?
British now,
Yeah.
yeah.
Oh, that's good. That'll be good. Yeah. When it first got announced, I was like, it's a bit strange with Azeez taking that fight. For me, it was like taking a backward step. But obviously, you've just explained that it's for the British. That's something that he's going to want to win and probably win outright. But yeah, I don't know how to assess this fight. I mean, look, if Dan Azeez has got anything left, with his experience and stuff, he should beat Lewie. But for me, Dan Azeez in his last fight, he did look the same Dan Azeez that I boxed. He just seemed, but a lot can do that to you. It knocks your confidence a bit. I've been there before I boxed for my British title against Frank Buglioni. I was thinking I was the best thing since sliced bread. When you take that loss, it dips your confidence, and that's what's probably happened to him. And it takes a bit to get back. It took me a while to get back. Um, After that loss, you're battling demons and stuff because nobody likes to lose. But yeah, I think it's going to be a great fight. It's Dan Azeez now. He's 34, 35. He's been in some hard fights. He's getting no younger. He's got to win this fight, really. If he doesn't, I believe that could be the end of the road for him from where he wants to go. You know what I mean? Being former British champion, European champion, obviously losing to Lewie Edmondson, somebody coming up. I don't know what Lewie's had, 8, 9
I
fights,
think so, yeah.
and yeah, it's going to be devastating if Dan Azeez was to lose this fight. And going for Lewie, I'd sparred Lewie when he just turned over. Good kid. He had a good amateur pedigree. Really sharp, big for the weight, fast. He's hungry. He's unbeaten. So I'm looking forward to this fight, Dan. I'll be tuning in and watching it.
Great stuff. Mate, I really appreciate the time. As you said, you're really busy
Yeah.
since retirement, so I'll let you get back to it. But always a pleasure to catch up and let's
Thanks,
do it
Danny.
again.
Thanks for the interview, mate. It's always good to speak to you, and you're looking well. Cheers,
Cheers,
mate.
mate. It's very kind.
Top man.
I'll speak to you soon.
Thank
Take
you.
care.
See you soon. Take care.